in love with Hermione Granger. We have Victor Crumb, played by Stan Yabaneski. And then there's the beloved brothers, Fred and George Weasley, played by James and Oliver Phelps. And last, but certainly not least, she's a Gryffindor, I'm a Gryffindor. She's my personal favorite. Sorry guys, I love you all too. I know, I'm so sorry, it's my fault. Is Ginny Weasley, played by Bonnie Raitt. All right, so once she gets up here, I think we have our first question with Sarah back there.
Hi guys, I'm Jackie from Sci-Fi Wire. So fans are obviously really excited to come here and step into the world. What are you guys really excited to do when you come to the park?
Go on all the rides, try butter beer, meet everyone, all the fans, everyone that loves it, I don't know. Yeah?
No, I love just seeing, I know it's a bit of an ego trip, but seeing the Weasleys visiting Weezes. When we're filming it, it was quite a full-size set anyway, but see it here in the actual setting, and the guys have done it so well, it never gets old, so it's always really cool to see.
I always really enjoy, and I stumbled across this kind of tradition, I guess, one of the first times I came here when the original Hogsmeade opened, and that's seeing people who are looking at it for the first time. And their faces, like when they walk through and they literally look up and they see Hogsmeade, their faces are just lit up. And that really does bring it all back how, we're very kind of close to it because we worked on it and everything was just, and you kind of take it for granted a little bit, but seeing people literally coming to Hogwarts is quite a cool thing to see.
It is -10 back home Celsius. It's pretty warm out here. Besides the weather, it's not my first time coming to Universal, and it's every time I come, and the first thing I want to do is go on the roughest possible ride, and go a few times in a row if possible. And besides this, just seeing the Harry Potter world expanding because it is growing, and they keep upgrading things, and seeing all these fans and people dressed up as if they are going to, Hogwarts as we were. Well, I went to Durmstrang, but still. It's great. Just a great experience meeting fans and, sharing their love and seeing their support, because this is what keeps this amazing world alive,
For me, I think there's something almost more real about the world that's been created here than some of our sets were, in the sense that here you don't sort of see the scaffolding that exists behind a set, and you don't, the reality doesn't break, and the world you're in doesn't break, even to the sense that you go into a shop and you can pick up and get sweets and candy that we read about in the books, but they never actually fully made them for us when we were filming. So you can quite literally eat the sets and drink them and do those things. So that's cool. And yeah, just seeing people's expressions is always really fun, and just seeing them step into a world that they're so at home in is lovely. You can see people just feel quite comfortable, and I think that's what the world is and what going to Hogwarts is and represents for so many people, that there is this home, and it's really cool that there's a physical space that people can come and exist in a world obviously where we're continually on our phones and different things. It's a physical world. We're here with, you're wearing the robe, you're actually, it's a tangible and physical experience, and I think that's cool.
Hi, I'm Maxwell Serpinard from Scholastic News. And I write for kids. So what is your best advice for aspiring young actors?
Have a plan B, very strong plan B, and if you're a woman, probably plan B, C, and the whole alphabet.
Well, I would say, Matt's given a very good advice. Always, I always have a plan B and C and a possible D. But I would say, don't give up hope. it's a very difficult and challenging world, and competition is insane. I mean, for my part, I was fortunate enough to be spotted by one of the casting agents, and later on, when I went into the world of acting, I figured out that actually, because it was filmed in Britain and I'm Bulgarian, the British Council, I think, was questioning Warner Brothers why they had to choose someone from Bulgaria and they couldn't choose someone that looked like me and was a local, so they had to come up with all these reasons. So don't give up, believe in yourself that you can do it, and if you surround yourself with positive energy, positive things will come along. So next one.
Hey guys. I have a question, I guess, for all of you. If you decided to go incredibly evil, have Horcruxes, what would each of your Horcruxes be for your character and your real life self?
I put one in my dog. Let me think. That's all I got to do.
I've got 3 dogs.
There you go. That's 3 of them.
I think I think Fred or George would probably put his in, I don't know, maybe a product from the joke shop, or isn't necessarily too out there on show. I don't know, maybe that umbrage model what goes up and down and things like that. Yeah, but it's always above the shop anyway, going back and forth, so maybe that. And as myself, Horcrux, I don't know, maybe a golf ball, because they're pretty hard to break anyway, so I mean,
Yeah.
and you could hide it, you could just put it in like a big tub of golf balls in your shed. Where's you gonna find it? Yeah, that'd be mine, done. Or a shed.
Shed, yeah.
I think I would, as Ginny, I think I would put it in a Mrs. Weasley's knitted jumper. And as me, I think I would put it in a piece of jewellery that was like right in front of me, maybe just the necklace that's hanging around my neck. Something that was, maybe something that was much closer to you than, I think people imagine that you've hidden them in some far off place. Although, don't they kind of, if you're wearing them close to you, don't they actually affect your, maybe not, I don't want to wear it. Or maybe just a piece of jewellery that's in a box then, not worn. But yeah.
Well, Crumb being more physical than being the kind of guy with thought, he'd probably put his one in a snitch and be chasing it all the time. I myself would probably use a barbell, since I spend a lot of time in the gym, so yeah, just have it there. It won't be on me, so I guess it'll be alright.
This one's for James and Oliver specifically. Your characters would switch like sometimes, but did you ever play each other without any? Like, is there any part in any movie where you actually are in each other's roles?
No.
Oh.
It's a really boring answer, no.
We did we did once on a rehearsal of a Great Hall scene. So there's a shot where you can see like 300 kids all sitting down all the way down. During one rehearsal, like I sat where he was supposed to be, and vice versa. But we didn't when we were actually filming, because there's about 300 members of the crew, and it's quite an expensive gig doing making a film. So if you got caught and you're the reason why all these guys have to stay late because you were messing around, then you can't really do that. But we explained that once before, but that got somehow, Wikipedia isn't always true for some reason. But that story comes around every so often.
Hello, nice to see you all. I'm Catherine from MuggleNet, and we wanted to know if you could redo any scene from any of the Harry Potter films and add a spoof to it. What would you choose and what would you do?
I don't understand my spoof. Sorry, my beach.
So, for example, if instead of Trevor being released from escaping from Neville on his first day of school, if it was like a basket of kittens and McGonagall had to transform herself into a cat to wrangle them all back and put them in the basket.
Do you see my imagination?
If I could reshoot anything, it would be myself in the first movie and try and make my voice deeper. Every Christmas, I'm reminded how I sound like I was on helium. Yeah, spoof, I have no idea. Stan.
Why are you looking at me?
I redo there was a fight scene that I did in the fifth one at the end. I would have had more fighting, more hair, my hair changing more. I think that would have been quite fun. You know, if she gets hit, maybe it's a different colour, and then when she's angry, that would have been fun. I don't know what kind of spoof. You've got kittens now on my mind, so maybe just kittens flowing out behind me. A herd of kittens behind my broom. And wasps. I don't know why wasps, but
well, one thing I would happily reshoot is the moment when Victor is doing his little exercising by the sort of beach side and he's having all these girls chase him. I would do more realistic moves than just. I would also do it a little bit slower so I could enjoy my time with the girls. But that spoof thing, I don't really know. I've got kittens in my mind now. Well, I've got 8 cats at home, so yeah, I love animals. Well, and a parrot and 2 rabbits, 3 chinchillas. Got my sister also.
I don't know. I think as James said, like something to do with our voice in the first film. She always think of that. And in terms of a spoof, maybe instead of having a rat, I'd have like one of Stan's chinchillas or something.
They're really cute, you know.
Yeah.
Fluffy.
Right.
They look like squirrels, but they're not. Like, chubby.
Yeah, there you go.
If you get them wet, they're actually skinny.
I remember there was a scene that happens around the burrows that's all in the sort of like swampish reeds, and I think that was the 5th film. That was pretty cold and quite a bleak moment, so maybe I could just turn all the reeds and swamp into like a bubble bath or something. That would be cool.
Hello, hey guys, my name is Tessa Netting. So we are all obviously big fans of Harry Potter, that's why we're here celebrating it. What are you guys fans of? It could be a TV show, a movie, a band, a sport. Like, what are you guys like totally obsessed with?
I'm actually a really big Simpsons fan.
Amazing.
And so what's great about coming to Universal is the Springfield here. And especially on this weekend, everyone's in the Potter parts of the park. So I've got most to myself, which is quite funny.
I love comic books. It's the only thing it's actually the only thing I've ever collected. I started when I was 21, and this actor I was working with gave me the first volume of Preacher, and I read it that night, and it was like being addicted to drugs. I went to this comic book shop the next day. I was like, I want all the volumes, and then I finished that, and I was like, now what? And things like Transmetropolitan, and then I went, I love Gareth Ennis. I love The Boys. Is incredible. So yeah, that would be.
I'm a big fan of the Minions. There was one actually in my pocket, and I had to take it out when we went on one of the rides. I didn't even know he was with me. So, and there is that.
He's telling the truth.
Yeah, it's no joke. So, Minions, I like them. Little army. I wish they were real. I could have my own army.
Chinchillas and Minions.
Chinchillas are great.
I suppose a lot of things like sports in general. Fortunately, when we were in town earlier this week, we went to the Magic play, so that was quite cool. Like basketball and like American sports in general. Pro wrestling as well. Love watching that. It's like a really good kiddish day out. It's awesome. Yeah.
I guess anything that's related to the water, but I surf, so I guess that's something that I do like quite a lot. Maybe like, yeah, a good 4 times a week or something. So that's a good obsession of mine then. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm curious to know from you your reaction to Jude Law being cast as Dumbledore in Fantastic Beasts, and as well as any advice you might give him into playing such a pivotal character for the series.
Not sure he needs advice. I think it's an interesting casting. I think I'm sure he'll step into it very well. I'm sure Michael Gambon and different people are probably happy with the fact that he's been cast as the younger him. I think, the beauty of, you can watch all of the films, and that's, I think within the entirety of watching all the films and reading the books, I think that's a greater lesson than I could say to anyone stepping into new characters throughout the Fantastic Beasts series. And I think what was so different for us is there was such a big unknown when we started the films. Like, we really didn't know that they were going to become, we didn't know we'd still be here talking about them, and we didn't know that they would continue through generations. And I personally loved the fact that there was that mystery, because you didn't project or get too worried or caught up in the phenomenon that it became. But I think the minute you step onto the sets, and I know that the Fantastic Beasts sets have felt that same very kind of private and closed and intimate environment that we had. So I'm sure it would be pretty terrifying to be cast in those movies, knowing that all of this had come before. But I'm sure the minute they start shooting, they would feel that same sense of family. But I don't think I have many words to say, but just to enjoy it, yeah.
Hey guys, it's Allison with Spectrum News 13. Welcome to Orlando. So we're about to see the Nighttime Lights show, the projection show, for the first time ever. Have you all seen it yet, by the way? You haven't seen it. So just what are your expectations of it? And you might know something that we don't know. So what are your expectations?
I think, like anything, we've come to realise that Universal Orlando, they don't do anything by halves. So it's when the guys first told us that they were building the Wizarding World, we thought, in my mind, they're just going to rebrand something that's already here, and that's it. Not build Hogwarts, build all this and that, and the way they've done Diagon Alley. So in terms of the show tonight, we've only heard stuff. In terms of actually seeing it, nothing yet. But like I say, I'm sure it's going to be something really special to behold, because I think like Universal, they don't, unless it's good enough for everyone, they don't tend to show it. So it's I'm sure it'll be really, really special.
Hey guys, my name is Amanda, here front row. Hi guys. So there is a really popular, video meme going around on Facebook where it's like a group text chat between like Harry and Ron and Hermione, and then like Voldemort pops in and then Tom Riddle. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's like, if this was existing during, if text messages were a thing, in Harry Potter world, what would those group texts look like? It's hilarious. I recommend you Google it if you have it in your spare time. So the question is, all of that, if your characters, were texting, what would their favorite emoji be?
Do they have wolf emojis? Mine would probably be a wolf emoji, a purple wolf emoji.
Well, Crumb would be first just looking at those chats. He wouldn't be taking much part in them.
Every so often one emoji would just be...
Yeah, he would probably just put like smile emoji, just, to remind everybody that he's there. He's just existing physically there.
I think probably Fred's would be like, the one with like the winky smiley, and a firework emoji as well.
Yeah, I think on the chats, George would probably like a firework emoji. And then on the chats, he'd probably be the type of guy, if you're on like a WhatsApp group, there's always that one guy who puts really inappropriate memes up. That'll probably be George.
I feel like she's a pretty breezy and cool character, Ginny, so I'm gonna go for the cucumber. which is obviously my personal favourite too. the dice cool as a cucumber, I imagine.
Hey, so do you guys have any especially memorable fan interactions? Anything that really sticks out as interesting or out there?
I think when this place first opened, when we came out for the opening of the Wizarding World, and they showed a helicopter shot down below, and it was just, I can't remember how many, it was like what, over a mile long, something like that,
Is it
8
well?
deep or something like that. It was ridiculous. Apparently you could see it from, as I say, you can see it from way up in the sky. And being on this side of it, you kind of just hear it, and you'd hear people arriving at like 4 a.m. just to get into the queue, to get into the car park, to get into the, to see the park and stuff. And there were people who knew that they weren't going to make it into the Wizarding World, but they just felt the need to have to be here. And I think that just showed what it means to the fan base to have this here. And for us to, for me personally, to have been able to see that firsthand was something I'll never forget. It was amazing.
Hi. So I know you guys know that Harry Potter fans can be really intense and passionate and excited. And I wondered if you guys could give us maybe an example of an experience you might have had, or the craziest fan encounter, or something completely bananas that's like, oh my gosh, I'm a part of this world. This is insane.
I got sent baby clothes for like 3 months. Just because my character's pregnant when the book came out, and just got sent loads of baby clothes. It was just great. I had a friend that was, about to pop, so I was like, I just want some baby clothes. It was just pretty amazing. This person obviously really thought that was happening to me. It's quite amazing, really. Thanks if they're listening. It's quite amazing. Appreciate the support.
I once got a really, like a box which was about this big, sent, and it was really heavy, so I was like, this is going to be a good present. And I opened it, and there was a watermelon with a sign, with a sticker that's just saying, please sign and return to this address. No. So I cut it in half, I ate the one half and sent the other back. So.
I can't compete with the watermelon.
Yeah, the other half.
Yeah, I don't think we actually posted it. I think I ate it without. Never mind. Yeah, it's good.
Well, I had a bra fly to me with a message, "Marry me." Which I
Where was
found,
this? Well, somebody threw a bra at you.
Yeah, a bra, and I've had knickers also. Yeah, people want to marry me for some reason. I don't know why. Find that. It's actually nice to know that people want you.
So you feel like Tom Jones?
A little bit. But yeah, it's funny seeing things fly too with little messages and people just.
I don't know what I can bring after that. I don't know. I don't have any. My memory is so bad in terms of those intensities of those moments of fans. I think my main thing that I love is when you can see a parent is so thankful that Harry Potter came into their child's life because it meant they went and they read the books. And to me, that is always a huge not that it's a sense of achievement, because that's not something that I did, but the fact that those movies did make children go back and realise that there's a depth to this world, and that's why it's so incredible, and to make sure that the books are still honoured. But in terms of a funny, crazy story, I think it's usually just you're in the most obscure, remote place, and someone recognises you, and you're just like, wow, it just makes you realise how far the story travelled and went, and that's pretty cool. I remember once being in this tiny village in Crete, up some mountain, and all these people came out of their house, and it was I was walking through this tiny quiet village that looked like it was a ghost town, and suddenly these people were recognizing me, and I was just in the middle of nowhere. So that's cool, and you just feel the connectedness that it's a global story.
Hi, I'm Emma from the Leaky Cauldron, and I just wondered, to all of you, if you could create a spell or potion, what would it do?
I think normal. I know that. I suppose you could say it does the same as an alarm clock, but so you don't have to bother about it. So you just take it, and you know exactly when you get up. But you feel great. You don't have that struggle to get out of bed type thing. Yeah.
I see one of those people who, hey, daytime.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're not, and you can't keep up the snooze button. It's just boom, way to go. Morning person. Yeah, that's a good name for it, actually. Yeah. George's morning medicine. There you go.
Branded it already.
Potion would stop sexism, that'd be nice. I don't be forced to drink that very early on. I very much appreciate that.
Hi guys, my name is Roy, I'm from Attractions Magazine, and I was wondering, so in the magical universe, everybody uses wands to do magic. If you could use any other kind of object to channel your magical energy, what would that object be?
My accordion. I've got a band and I use my magic that way. So my accordion.
Probably my golf clubs, because I don't.
Nothing magical about
There's
it.
nothing magical about my golf game at the moment, so that would be the dream.
I would be very happy using my finger. Just go like do magic with my finger. But I ride motorbikes. I mean this finger. Something's wrong with me. But yeah, I would love my motorbike to do some magic. Like, you know, have the weather clear and get good degrees and have that slippery thing go away and all the danger. So, but the finger is my choice.
I would say like a place sometimes you can feel like a lot of magic through, not necessarily like an object, but like an environment or a space. So for me, I felt that definitely from an environment of being in the water. So I think the energy that's in that element that's unfortunately being a bit abused and disused these days. But yeah, I would say the water.
Hi, I'm Sean from Inside the Magic. I was curious, do any of you have any like funny or like just memorable moments from when you guys were shooting the films?
No, it was all really serious.
Really serious, yeah, really serious.
We all hated each other.
I remember when they were building that building site on the second film.
Where was it? Where?
At the studios, there was a building site over the road, and we had some
yeah,
walkie-talkies.
yeah.
And we realised that the walkie-talkies were the same frequency as the builders. And between the three of us,
Knock that down. Yeah.
And it was like, you can go home now. You see these guys like packing over here. You got like, there's Bonnie, James and I like, we can go home now. Where are you? Like, yeah, stopping construction.
We also had, luckily, I loved all the Weasley, like the Burrows house, because we had, not only did we have obviously all the Hogwarts scenes, but we had the other scenes that were in the Burrows, and they were always really fun. It was such a tight little crazy set that we all very much were like in close proximity with each other, and they were quite fun. You could all, there was good like hiding places in that house, because it was all, nothing was straight, so it was like, you know, the floors were at an angle, and there were these little sort of weird areas and sections to it, and it got rebuilt because doesn't it burn, and then they rebuilt it again, so it felt like it was constantly changing, so it was like a nice discovery, and that was cool.
Yeah, we actually had a game of cricket on Privet Drive, which was good fun, and I was that guy who hit the ball through one of the windows of one of the houses, and it was like real life, everyone just ran. And so,